Hey everyone, appreciate you tuning in to this episode. Today, first time doing this, we had Mr. David Kurzrock with us today. So first time having someone else on the podcast beside myself. Today we're just gonna chat with him. David is actually, a couple years ago, once this business, it was originally Celiano Landscaping. He was one of our employees out there and has helped us tremendously get to where we are today. So I'll have David share a little bit about himself, and we'll get this started.
Well, I'm super excited to be on, Marcus. Thank you. He gave me the grand tour of his office this morning, and it's truly remarkable of where this man has came, and he's grown his business. But I'll just introduce myself first by saying I'm a digital marketer for a life insurance agency. I help advisors grow their business, and I'm pretty good with using digital marketing as well, just social media and everything like that. So I'm happy to share my thoughts on some things today with Marcus.
Awesome. Appreciate you taking the time. I guess we could go back a couple years when this really all started. First of all, even before landscaping, we grew up together, playing baseball, went to the same middle school, high school, travel ball together. So definitely we've had a relationship together before working together. But where we really started to connect was the past couple years once we started in Celiano Landscaping before it transitioned over to Golden Wolf. So tell me a little bit about why exactly you wanted just to go into landscaping in the first place, why you wanted to help me out, grow a business. Just curious.
Yeah, well, just like Marcus said, we had a pretty good relationship before that. And I think Marcus knew I was a hardworking kid and, I would work for my dollar and I would make every single hour count. Initially I wanted to work to landscape just for an exercise.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
Yeah, that was during COVID when you couldn't
Right.
even go to the gym.
Exactly. My parents didn't let me go working inside, so they said it was a great idea to go start working for Marcus full time. I ended up really enjoying it, and especially working with Marcus. You have a great time, and especially with the team as well. Like it's honestly, if as hard as it is to work as a landscaper, you have a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
You build memories and share stories like that all the time. But yeah, no, honestly, it was just for an exercise.
Yeah.
And I got it. And I got
You got it all
I got
right.
a great workout. Yeah, carrying wheelbarrows of
Stone and
like
mulch.
2-inch, 5-inch rock is a tough job, especially going uphill and carrying it up staircases. I
Oh my
remember.
gosh, that was terrible. Yeah, there was no access to one house where we had to bring wheelbarrows upstairs, wooden railroad tie stairs. But you know what? That's really how a business starts. That's really how you get it off the ground and being able to cherish those memories, even though in the moment it was 95 degrees, it sucked. But now we look back on it and we're talking about this on a podcast
Exactly.
together. So
Especially when some of your crew members, like John Macy, don't go ahead and quit after the second half hour.
yeah, John. Oh, John. Hopefully he's listened to this.
Yeah.
But no, it's really a great to have you back here, and obviously being in the marketing game right now. Just graduated from Marymount University, playing baseball over there. Explain to me how marketing, why you went into marketing in the first place, and then how you see that in the everyday life.
Yeah, so to be honest with you, I chose the easiest degree I think that Marymount had to offer. And going into it, I said, what the hell? Like, I'm going to jump into something I haven't done before. And I actually used it as an advantage for, like, my creative thinking and all things like that. And it really I was just really able to just do myself, do my thing and be able to use everything that I've learned in college and just YouTubing things and doing things and such. But it just gave me the ability to do what I kind of want and, like I said, just be creative as possible. There's so many things that go into marketing, and it's tied with sales too. And I think that I'm really good and being a very personable person. So I kind of just like been able to do my thing, and now here I am working for a life insurance agency, and I was given the opportunity to start up my own team, like marketing team, and do things like social media. I built most of the stationery business cards there, letterheads, and such things like that. So it kind of is a great start for me, and I think that Marymount taught me a lot of things to do with digital marketing. So
Okay, awesome. And How long have you been over at this company for?
So I've been with, well, I was at Mass Mutual, and then I hopped over to Wealthbridge in Manhattan. So I've been kind of in life insurance agency for like a year and a half or so.
Okay.
And yeah, I really enjoy it,
Where do you see yourself going with it?
I would like to open possibly my own like marketing agency, which would be
Okay.
nice, like advertising
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things
yeah.
like that. This would obviously be a side business, but it would be cool to use my creative thinking even more and just kind of what Spencer does, and he
Yeah.
builds like websites and helps out other
Yeah.
companies build their digital. I like to say lobby, their digital image. So like I said, like some of the eat free marketing tools that I use is like Canva.
Okay.
I use like Adobe Cloud and things like that just to like help me just be who I am and
Yeah.
use my creative thinking. So
Yeah. Of course, I mean, nowadays everyone's on their phone, everyone's on the
exactly.
computer, everyone's on social media. So being able to have a market in that, since it's such a, there's so many people that are engaging on those platforms, and being able to really connect with them, that's huge, and there's a huge market for it as well.
Exactly.
So definitely have a bright future in that for sure if you just continue this path. And then going off of the whole marketing thing, why is it so important? Why is marketing the backbone to pretty much all companies?
Well, it's like I said, it's tied with sales, and marketing is basically your salesman, right? Like let's say your company is like a landscaping company, right? Like you make your business from marketing yourself online. That could be references, and it could be like just building relationships with people. Like your marketing strategy is basically building what I like to say your digital lobby. You go out, market yourself, and you have to market your business. I believe strongly marketing your business online. Like digital is the biggest platform right now that
Yeah.
you need to focus on, because with our generation, everyone's on their phone, like you said. Everyone's always Googling things, and like the first thing you do, when you go and look up a business is you Google it. You see
Check the
check the
reviews,
reviews. You
see if
see
they have a website.
exactly, see if it's an actual business. And more and more people are starting to review your review your business. So it's great to be able to market yourself on other ways. That's just having a good crew, right?
Yeah.
That's marketing yourself.
We or not to cut you off, but we,
Yeah.
we actually do have a marketing company that we work with, Maris Communication out in Bethlehem Township, and every single year we develop a whole marketing plan. I mean, probably it's right behind me
Yeah,
on that
yeah,
wall.
yeah. Just taking a look at that.
I could upload this so you guys could see it, but we're in the office right now and we have the marketing plan. It's a huge, our playbook pretty much, and being able to have multiple types of outlets that we could market through, whether it be billboard. I mean, you probably saw it
Yeah.
driving in today. We have a billboard out there. Digital media is huge, and also retargeting using IP addresses and sort of a little weird, but
Yeah.
being able to retarget certain
Yeah.
people, like ads just pop up on the Weather Channel or something.
Yeah.
And being able to have that diversity would be able to create a brand and saturate the marketplace.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I see the Golden Wolf, the signs on the properties
Oh,
as well.
yard
So,
signs.
the yard signs.
Yeah, those are huge.
Those are mass. Those are like little billboards.
Exactly. And then if someone keeps driving and driving and they see, oh, there's a billboard there, or there's a billboard, there's a yard sign. Oh, I see them when I Google landscaping near me, and then I see when I go on Instagram, their post pops up, and then I heard that from my neighbor that used them, a word of referral. It's you have to be throughout the entire buying process. You have to be present, and it doesn't take one avenue of marketing to achieve that. It takes multiple avenues over a duration of time to build that trust, because marketing is a trust builder, and then coming the sales process, the better you can market, the better you could sell.
Exactly.
And they're easier. Sales is never easy, but the easier you could sell, for sure.
And what is cool about you is you're so young, right? And you're building this company basically since we were like 2 or 3 years ago, right? And you're kind of growing with multiple generations.
Yeah.
So they'll say one day, once they buy their house, they'll say, hey, listen, I've known Marcus for X amount of years. He's got great reviews, and he's been here for a while in the industry. I may give him a call for landscaping,
Yeah.
hardscaping, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's really important to start as early as possible social media. So just with our generation gradually going up, they'll be able to say, "Hey, listen, this guy's very reliable. Let me give him a call or
Yeah,
something."
and content is huge nowadays. Being able to, I don't know the exact rules and algorithms of Instagram and whatnot, but being able to post daily, being able to be an educator in the industry is another huge thing. No matter what industry you're in, whether
Yeah.
it be life insurance, whether it be landscaping, whether it be a restaurant, being able to educate people so that when you do educate people, you're bringing them to your site, you're bringing them closer to trusting you,
Right.
and you're looked at as the expert in the industry as well. So, what have you seen be the most overlooked type of marketing strategy? Something that a lot of people just choose not to go with because it's maybe not as prominent, but it has the best return.
Facebook ads.
Really?
Paid Facebook ads. Believe it or not. Well, now that Facebook and Instagram are one company through Meta, they use the same type of advertisement.
Yeah.
So, with all the algorithms, like you were saying, depending on where your market is and what your business does, it targets certain demographics and in certain regions too, like that. So, I think using paid Facebook ads is a great way to grow your business and just to market your business as well. Just because like it targets Facebook and Instagram at the same time.
Yeah.
Not many companies realize how many people that reaches out to.
Yeah.
You're scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, you see those advertisements all the time. It's really important just to just get one click. And also for like a user, like if you keep seeing your post or your advertisement, you're just going to be like, well, what is this finally? Like
Yeah.
I'm finally seeing this like 7 times. Like, why am I continue to see this? And then they're finally going to click on it,
Yeah.
I click on advertisements that I see multiple times just to see what it is.
Yeah. And it's pretty cost effective too, from what I've experienced with all the different types of marketing platforms out there. Definitely Facebook has a specific type of market to it. And whether it be through trying to gain clients or even gain employees as well. I mean,
Yeah, recruiting.
recruiting is
Recruiting's
huge. I mean, those are your internal clients. I look at it because being in any type of industry, running a business, you have two types of clients: your internal and external ones, because you can't do business with either.
Right.
So being able to prioritize, you always want to be recruiting. You always want to be having people come in and be in the next position to add to your business and grow your business. And Facebook, for certain positions in our company, especially being out in the field, we really noticed that a lot of field employees have come through Facebook. And a couple of the office staff, but a lot of the office staff has come through Indeed. Just
Indeed.
a different, Indeed's a different demographic.
Yeah, I
for that.
believe $1 for one post, like to boost the post, is around like 1,100 people it usually contacts, which is unreal. $1 a day, right? What is that? Takes you so far, It gets in on people's web pages and Facebook pages all the time. It's unreal.
Air. It's going to be loud. Yeah. Last time Spencer said you could hear the air in the background.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah. So Facebook.
Yeah, that was that was probably the most overlooked advertisement that I would have to say is definitely Facebook advertising.
Okay. And what do you
100%.
think is the most saturated form of marketing?
The most saturated form of marketing, maybe like business cards, and I would go with business cards just because everything's going digitally right now, and when I give you a business card, the majority of the time you're gonna throw it out.
You see those tap things?
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah.
So there's a company called Hi Hello. My life insurance agency is really looking to get into it, and it's super simple. And the pricing of it is not terrible at all.
Really?
All you have to do is scan a QR code like you're going out to a restaurant.
Yeah.
Because that's so normal nowadays.
Yeah, no more menus.
Exactly. It's really cool, And not only does it just give you your phone number and your email address, it also links you to your social media sites, your website.
It's like a
and
link
everything.
tree almost.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
and that's something that we use, Linktree. It's definitely just put in all your, what do you call it? Your
What?
digital portfolio.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
it's just,
Digital. I call it digital lobby.
yeah, you're putting your digital lobby out all in one place using the Linktree. So that's it's fantastic. Instead of just going right to your website, you could have multiple assets. On that link tree. I mean, we just added a career page as well on our link tree, English and Spanish, because
I saw the referrals in Spanish.
yeah, exactly. I mean, nowadays being in the landscaping industry, there it is a very
Yeah.
heavy Hispanic community, and there's nothing wrong with that by any means.
Not
And
by any
those
means.
those people, they value work, they value a job opportunity, they value being appreciated more than anyone, and being able to actually appreciate them on the turn side. It's where the industry is really headed for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Has been and is continuing to grow
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, like just what we're saying, like a digital business card is definitely the come up right now, you know. And like I said, it links you to all your other social media sites, and with one touch, all you have to do is just add a contact, and it goes right to your phone. The other person gets notified, and you add it right to their phone as well.
Yeah.
It's really cool,
And
really
that's
cool
and
stuff.
you're putting it right in their fingertips every single day
Exactly,
instead of putting a
exactly.
business card where they could
Throw it
leave
out.
somewhere or leave on their desk or kitchen table. You're putting your business card right in their phone.
And a nice, pretty picture of you,
Yeah,
as well pops
exactly.
up on the phone. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Awesome. So with the whole marketing thing, why do people say, you know what, marketing's not for me, or I haven't done marketing, I'm scared by it, I'm intimidated by it? Why do you feel as though people don't want to market or don't market enough?
I think people don't take marketing very seriously. I think that
No.
they think it's simple, easy, is a joke, and it's not really important to their business, when actually it's everything in their business. Little do they know, wearing a t-shirt with your logo on it is marketing.
Yeah.
You know,
Driving a company vehicle
Exactly.
is marketing.
being a good person is marketing. You want to have people like know that you're serious. That's marketing. And taking care of other people is also marketing as well. You know,
It doesn't always have to just be paid marketing. It could be who you are as a person.
exactly. So believe it or not, those who say that marketing isn't worth it, you're doing it every single day. So, but yeah, no, it's a huge aspect of every business. You know, and again, like you don't have to have all these digital marketing platforms, but at the same time, you really do want them, especially in this day and age. Like I said, like you want to be able to grow up with generations. You want to leave a footprint digitally, just because that everyone is now going online, looking up businesses and things like that. Like I said, like when you go into a business, whether that's you're going to get a haircut at some new salon or barbershop, you're looking up that company. That's the first thing you're doing. And going back to saying like marketing is just being a good person, you get a bad review online, that person is not going to be going to your business.
And who knows who they're going to tell or who's going to see that review. I mean, obviously, there's going to be people that don't like your service no matter what, or your
Yeah.
product at the end of the day. Those people, it's tough to please everyone in today's world. But being
Definitely.
able to at least make the effort to provide a quality service for everyone and know that at the end of the day, even though that someone may not be satisfied, you did your best and did everything possible. That's really what it comes down to.
Exactly.
For sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And also, a lot of people, sort of to go off of that, not to answer your questions, but my personal take on this is a lot of people are intimidated by marketing because they don't see the initial ROI. I know, for example, this year we're going to be spending about $50,000 in marketing alone between all of our campaigns
Yeah.
and platforms. And yeah, to spend 50 grand, obviously every single business is different. Every single company is different where they are in what industry and market, but being able to spend 50 grand and not know what's going to come from it,
Yeah.
it's intimidating.
It's definitely
But you have to
intimidating.
trust it.
Exactly. And you have to know your stuff too, right? So I think you have a very reliable source with Spencer. He does great work and things like that. But again, like this is industry. You do need a great image, but at the same time, other people heavily, like other industries heavily rely on their image. Like their website is everything. I worked with some advisors and they put thousands of dollars into their website just
Yeah.
because like their image is everything, you
That's
know?
their biggest selling point. I mean, for us, we try to put anything and everything on our website because that when people have questions, go to our website. When you
Exactly.
want pictures, go to our website. When you want
Exactly.
reviews, go to our website. When you want a service, go to our website because
Exactly.
it should be a website is really should be one of your best marketing and selling tools as
Yeah.
well.
You can use other marketing tools too to like for recruiting purposes as well. You can use like email campaigns. You could shoot
Yep.
out to certain demographics. You could
MailChimp.
Yep. You could
We use that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Spencer does it.
yeah. So some advisors use like all different. I know this is a different industry than landscaping and whatnot, but it's pretty interesting because we all similarly use the same thing. You can use like there's a generated like email marketing campaign website. It's called Constant Contact, and what it does
Oh
is
yeah.
it essentially like contacts the certain demographic you want, the certain region you want, and it literally hits random people. And
You have to buy the list.
you have to go out and get it on your own. Some of the lists that you get from people who like, if you wanted to go get a list, you usually go on like Fiverr and contact somebody, someone who's really reliable. Obviously, you're gonna have to pay, not too much, but yeah, you get the list from them, put into Constant Contact, and you're able to target whoever you want with a personalized message. And the company itself will put the name in there. All you have to do is just send them, a certain thing with a hook or something like that, just to catch the person's eye.
Another thing, instead of just looking at trying to get clients, is relationship marketing. That's another huge thing. So
Definitely.
once you have a client, how you keep them, how you show appreciation for them. Because if you spend, just say your client acquisition cost is $100, just pick a round number, be able to spend that $100 once and keep that client for the clients or the customers, their life, not their lifetime, but their
Your time with them in the relationship.
Exactly. Yeah. That's huge. Instead of just trying to every single year spend another $100 to get
Exactly.
another client that you're not appreciative of those people and you're not willing to keep them. That's another huge thing. So I know for us, we use SendGym. It's an integration with Jobber, which is one of our CRMs that we use. Not sure if are you familiar with
Yeah, kind of. There's other types of CRM systems
Yeah.
that we use for the
Yeah.
like financial industry.
Yeah,
and
so
things like that.
SendGym, it's a relationship marketing tool. So every single time that we close a job out, we send out a thank you card, a handwritten thank you card, and SendGym, it's actually a robot that you can change the font style.
No
So
kidding.
it's all automated. I just, at the end of every single week, I send Spencer an email saying, hey, these are the 10 clients that we finished the jobs for.
Yeah.
Send them all a handwritten, quote unquote, handwritten thank you card by a robot.
Everyone's that is your client's going to be listening on this. Be like,
I know. Yeah, I know that one wasn't real.
I thought this was personalized for me.
No, it's more or less just a thought.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, they're going to be very appreciative of
Yeah.
that. I'm
So being
sure.
able to use technology and being able to use a software such as SendGym, you could send thank you cards, you can send gift cards, you could send brownies, you could send cookies, just to show the appreciation.
That's awesome. That's really cool stuff.
And I know that just being able to communicate with clients once you do sell a life insurance job or life insurance policy, excuse me, life insurance policy or any type of job, whether it be a spring cleanup or a hardscaping job, being able to actually check in with them, saying that I care, I'm here for you, it just builds that more trust.
You could relate a policy to one of your clients as hardscaping because let's say, the grass always needs to be cut and there's jobs that need to be done around their house. And same thing with an advisor, like a policy always needs to be updated and you do need to build a relationship with one of your clients as well. It's extremely important because, you're not going, every policy is very similar, right? And you're not going to a certain company to find a different policy. You're really going to that certain advisor based off of their experience, what their personality is. And it is a part of convincing, and same in this business, I'm sure too. Like there's millions of other landscaping businesses, but they chose Golden Wolf Landscaping just because of how you do business and how you are as a person too. So like I said, marketing yourself is probably your biggest marketing tool.
How I look at this is you're in the people business first, and then you happen to do insurance or you happen to do landscaping because people people skills, the communication aspect is the biggest thing. Being able to first gain that trust, be able to help solve their issues, and being able to be with them for a long time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
make it more than just a transaction at the end of the day. It has to be a relationship.
Exactly.
For
Building
sure.
relationships is definitely
Yeah.
everything.
Of course.
What made you get into landscaping and hardscaping at such an early age? There's hundreds of kids who go out there, start their own landscaping business, cut their local neighborhood grass and things like that. You started out with your own Celiano landscaping, small business,
Yeah.
in high school, and it's a kid's dream to be to where you are right now. So like, to walk me out through like some of the little small steps that you got to where you are today.
So when it really goes back to more than just high school. When I was right about 5 years old, when I was with my parents, we live over in Tewksbury. We got a pool installed and a hardscape installed and plants installed, and pretty much, I think it was a $200,000 hardscape landscape job and pool. And the company that did that was Courting Landscaping. They're actually a very well-known company in the area. It's still active company. And I was out there with the foreman. I still remember his name, Jose, out there in the skid steer, in the Bobcat, running the plate compactor, putting pavers down with them. I mean, liability was not really too much of a concern back then, having a 5-year-old out there. But it was more or less just the experience that I got. And to be honest, I had no idea what I was doing. I just wanted to be out there because I was always fantasized by skid steers and machines and engines. So being able to have that experience with Courting Landscaping when I was right about 5 years old, when they were installing all that stuff, I didn't know it at the time, but that was the real big catalyst to the reason why I'm here today. And I have home videos of me being out there in the skid steer, running the plate compactor with Jose, sitting on his lap. That was really the biggest thing. And being able to see what it was, just a grass backyard, and then what it turned into, that was the big transformation that, even at that young age, being able to be out there, enjoy summers out there, and being able to really understand the emotional aspect of project, not just what goes into it, as well as be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Both ends of the both sides of the spectrum, I guess you can call it. That's really the biggest thing. And then I was always in sports. Obviously, I transitioned out of that. I didn't know when I was 5 years old I wanted to run a landscape company, hardscape company, but going into sports, that sort of prepared me mentally. And I know this could be stupid for saying, but working out has prepared me mentally just to keep going, just to keep pushing through
This
things.
is not a job you're sitting behind a desk with, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're always active. This is, the blue collar job, and I think it's great. I just want to just jump off of you because I remember when I was landscaping with you, the return is like for money purposes, that's great, right? But at the same time, the return of seeing satisfaction, seeing how far you've came. It was great to take those pictures before and take a picture after.
Yeah.
I would brag to my parents about these small jobs that we would be doing, and it was great because everyone, all the clients too, that were just like, "Oh, this is awesome stuff." Like I'm super happy to see what my house has come to.
And that's really the biggest thing. I mean, we recently finished a little walkway job over in Long Valley a couple days ago, and just the appreciation that you get, because you're literally transforming someone's front landscape, back landscape.
Where they live.
Yeah, where they live. That's the biggest thing. They're going to see it every single day, whether it be a $1,500 cleanup or $250,000 hardscape on both ends of the spectrum. That's the stuff that I really do enjoy. So going back to your question, why I started it, really had to go back to when I was 5. I didn't know it then, but now looking back on it, definitely was that.
Definitely was that.
And I actually, in the past couple years ago, after we worked together, having my business coach and mentor, Brad Stevenson from Newcastle Lawn and Landscape, having that experience, that was really the driving factor. That really put the pedal to the metal and said, you know what? I see what is possible. I do see a multi-million-dollar company with 60, 70 employees, and I know it is possible. And being able to, it was a little overwhelming, it was a little intimidating, but at the same time, you got to have big goals
Exactly. Yeah.
to motivate you.
You're making it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's great that you have a coach.
Yeah.
Someone who's inspiring you, and I'm sure you're inspiring them just on the process of coming up.
Yeah.
They probably really enjoy seeing where you've come from.
Yeah.
And just like helping building someone's front walkway, it's awesome to see all that progress and things like that.
And I actually started to mentor people. I mean, I have my second cousin, Colin Gartz. He actually wants to be on the podcast. And Colin, Spencer actually works with him as well. So I hooked him Spencer up. So Colin, he's my second cousin, and he lives down by Jersey Shore. And to be honest, I really didn't know I had a second cousin named Colin until like a year ago. But that's what family's all about, being able to reconnect. So he has a landscaping company down there. He's 17, 18, I'm pretty sure. Sorry if I get your age wrong, Colin, but he's in high school and he is starting a business, and I am his mentor, I guess, quote unquote mentor, someone that he could look up to, because I remember when I was in his shoes, I didn't have anyone, and being able to be there for him is going to help him, guide him, and get him to where he wants to be. And I know that where I was a couple years ago to where I am now, having that person that you can look up to, someone who's been through similar experiences, that really propels your growth and pushes you more. And is just to know someone is there that cares, that understands what you're going through. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I was landscaping with you, I thought Marcus was gonna be my mentor for life. I thought I was gonna be a laborer on Golden Wolf Landscaping for a long time, and I seriously considered it too. Because just going back to what you said before, and just like you couldn't sit still, and you wanted a job that always was active. Like I thought about that too. It was a hard decision not to be able to work with a bunch of guys every day. Staying active, not having to go pay $75 a month for a gym membership. You could just go out and work and make money. So, let me hop to the next question. It's a little off topic we were talking about. Back to more so the marketing side. For a landscaping business, what is your marketing strategies that is most effective? That could be paid, free, and your referrals.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying, what we were talking about before, we have a lot of different marketing channels that we use, but the biggest thing that we've seen the most ROI on is Google Ads. The reason I say Google is because when someone is looking for a specific type of service, they have to be actively looking for it. It's not like they're just going to be scrolling through Facebook. Right. Facebook is great for brand awareness and for finding employees and for just getting your name out there and showcasing projects. But when someone depends on what part of the buying cycle they're in. When someone's at 70, 60, 70, when they're starting to get quotes, they're starting to look up landscapers near me. You don't just scroll through Facebook or Instagram one day and say, oh, there's Golden Wolf. I want to spend $50,000 on a backyard patio. It takes a process, and it takes multiple impressions for them to gain that trust. And then once they do get to the stage of searching someone, you're going to pop up. Your ad's going to pop up, and then that brand recognition is already going to be there through all the other marketing advertising. So I can't really narrow it down to one specifically, but when it does come to getting a quote, I noticed that Google has been the most contributing factor to our marketing, because all the other marketing strategies, the billboards, the yard signs, the trucks, the Facebook ads, the Instagram ads, the next door ads, all those things lead up to that phase of the Google search.
Yep.
And another thing is the yard signs. Those are huge.
Yeah, those are massive.
Billboards are great because it's putting your flag in the ground, but you're constantly going to be out on properties, and if you could put a yard sign out a day, it doesn't have to be up there for months, but just those people that drive by it, they're going to recognize you.
Do you have to ask the client to see if you could put it in the ground, or do you usually just stick it in?
Usually we don't. Maybe we should.
Yeah. After you leave, they're like, what is this doing on my property?
If they really don't like it, they can just throw it out.
Yeah.
They're disposable.
But I see a lot of them, especially in this Long Valley area. And there's like maybe some I saw in Tewksbury. I can't remember.
A couple.
But yeah, no, I'm usually going the opposite way. But,
those are really the two biggest channels that we really see. Brand awareness through just organic type of marketing, I guess you can call it, putting yard signs out. And they're so cost effective, like a couple bucks a piece.
Now, does anybody ever call you up and say, hey, listen, I saw this billboard or I saw this sign on someone's property.
Yeah.
You know, I'm interested in doing business with you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we get that infrequently. Exactly like what type of source is. Usually we always ask just to keep records of it. But with how much marketing that we do, it's tough to narrow it down to one specific one because you don't know exactly when they reached out to you. They could have seen 7 of your other marketing campaigns, but it took one. So even though that one was the driving factor, we just got to take all of our data with a grain of salt, more or less.
That's why you have to put so much into marketing. You know, like you said, there's so many different channels that you can target and things like that, which kind of leads me to my next question. You know, with all the business that you've had over the years and things like that, like, how did you identify your target market, right? There's the older generation of people and living in houses. There's people constantly moving. You know, it's probably a really broad target market just because there's homeowners from our age all the way up to 80. So, like, do you have a certain market and how... You know, tell me kind of how you identified that. Was that through seeing all the demographics on your Google advertisements and things like that?
So our marketing company, Marriage Communication, they've helped us out a lot trying to really refine down our demographic and our target market. But there's not multiple assets. There's multiple things that we look at to define our target market. First one's location. We obviously want to be able to target a specific location. Start small, start at a tight radius, and then slowly work your way out. So you want to be able to dominate or have a strong presence in a 10-mile radius, and then slowly work out to 15, then to 20, then to 25, instead of just doing a bullseye shot or like a shotgun approach, because you want to be able to target those $50,000 or whatever you end up spending on a specific market. One, it helps with drive time, cuts down on inefficiencies. 2, that's where you're going to be driving around most of the time. So if you could target that specifically to a smaller radius and then slowly grow, that's another thing. So definitely location's one thing. Next thing that we do look at is property size. So usually we want to target people with an acre, and there's all analytics out there. You can buy lists. And so about an acre, because I'm not saying that people with a quarter of an acre aren't our ideal clients. There's obviously people that could be, but they're few and far between. We just from our doing work and history, we know that about an acre plus or minus a little bit is really our ideal client. And then it goes down to home value. So us being a design build firm and more or less a luxury service, landscaping is always a luxury service. It's not like plumbing and heating where it's essential. Having those types of services, you obviously want to be able to target someone who has enough disposable income to be able to afford the services and who is willing to understand the value that we bring to the table at the end of the day.
But again, like, even if you had somebody, let's say, with 2 acres or somebody that doesn't barely have an acre, you're still targeting them and basing them on what you can do and what they have to offer for the job.
It's the means of averages at the end of the day. So home value is another thing. Where we really are targeting is, I'm pretty sure, I'll have to double check, but I think it's $650,000 homes plus. That's our target market. And then just for who we are as a business, there's companies that their target market is $250,000 plus. We're just at a different location or a different area in the industry. One of just being in New Jersey, which has higher home values than 100%. Normal, especially Morris and Hunterdon County, which is the higher. Tewksbury,
Long Valley.
That has higher home values than most of New Jersey.
What is your radius
Usually we really try to snip it down to
Yeah.
about 15 miles, but there's always exceptions. It depends on the service as well. So if
Right.
you have a $200,000 hardscape, we went to Pennsylvania last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Where in Pennsylvania?
East Stroudsburg. That was an hour away.
Wow.
But-
This is for a hardscaping
Yeah,
job?
for hardscape. And then we're actually going next week to East Stroudsburg again
Okay.
for a drainage job for an HOA community. So as long as the drive is worth it, and if we accounted for it in our quoting process,
Budgeting and things like that.
it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, an hour drive versus a 15-minute drive, the guys may not like it as much, but if it keeps us in business, if it keeps us profitable, and allows us to slowly grow and expand that bullseye over time, that's really what it's all about. And then the last thing that we really look, or two other things, is age of people. We noticed that our biggest target market has come from anywhere from 30 to 55, 60 with kids.
Really?
I think 90% of all of our hardscapes come out with middle-aged parents, right around.
Are those new homeowners or are they previously?
They've been there for a while, or a couple years,
Yeah.
because usually the first year or so that they're in their home, they don't want to spend.
Right, exactly.
So give it a couple years.
And then they're like, oh, shoot, I
Yeah.
really need to put money onto this house so the market and it goes
Yeah,
up. And
it's an
things
investment
like-
at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So with most of our hardscapes, we noticed that they're in their 40s or 50s, have young kids, similar to what I was when my parents brought on courting
Right.
landscaping when I was 5 years old. It was the same target
Exactly.
market and the same demographic. And being able to look back on that and say, you know what? My parents were the ideal client for courting landscaping, and now those are my ideal clients.
Right. That's awesome.
It's just what industry standard is
Yeah.
and what this area is made up of, really.
I remember back in the Celiano landscaping days. Yeah, I think we went to Piscataway a couple times. Paramus, something with a P, yeah. Paramus, yeah.
That was about an hour away,
Yeah, it was
too.
about an hour away.
Yeah, that was for my brother-in-law's grandmother. So.
Right. It's a referral.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
And then, yeah, but most of them we really try to cut down the radius on. But yeah, there's obviously those clients.
jobs.
If money's there, if it's worth us to go out there, why not?
Right, and if you can get the job done too, you know. Yeah, I guess we'll hop off the whole marketing side into some funner things now. But you know, as an owner of yourself for a landscaping company, what's the best advice you can give to somebody starting up their own?
The best advice that I could give is sort of what I did, also what I didn't do at the same time. Have a mentor. Have someone that you could look up to. Have someone that you could ask questions to. It could be your girlfriend, your boyfriend, could be your parents, could be someone that you hire, could be your brother, your sister, anyone else that you could really look up to that you trust, someone that can give you advice. That's really the biggest thing, because starting a business, you are putting everything on the line. You're putting your head on the chopping block, and you took the risk.
Right.
It's a huge risk, and being able to, it's not going to be easy by any means. I know, not to get too much in detail right now, but the path to still continuing, obviously there's always going to be struggles and challenges, but to have someone that you could ask questions to and lean on for a little bit of advice that maybe has experienced these things, that is something that has really been a driving factor for me. And that I want to, that's why I started to do the whole mentoring thing as well. It just sort of came up. It's because I know what I felt like going through some tough times, and I know what it felt like to have someone there, and I want to be able to help people out and be able to extend my hand and say, you know what, I feel your pain. I've been there. I'm here for you. That's
Right.
really what it comes down to at the end of the day. So being able to have someone to look up to and ask questions to, that's really a huge thing. Whether it be financial advice, whether it be marketing advice, whether it be people, just dealing with people
Moral
advice.
support.
Yeah, moral support, because it's a very lonely place at times.
Yeah.
And being able to just have someone, doesn't have to be your entire family, it could just be one individual person that cares.
Right.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah,
Go
no, just to jump right off of that, you know, it probably does get really lonely even when I was with Marcus for the month and a half or so, I saw him really struggling sometimes. But now that you're experienced in some sort, how did you push through those hardest times? Maybe when you didn't have your mentor. We were talking about it before we hopped on the podcast. There's some estimates sometimes that may go over your budget. There's some people who may not be doing great for your business. How do you really? What's your final thought of the day to think about how tomorrow's a new day. What am I going to think about first going into it?
It has transitioned over time, so my mindset over the past several years has slowly transitioned because you sort of, in the words of David Goggins, you callous your mind. I know it may be weird to say it, but at the end of the day, it is true. Because you have to go through certain types of experiences in your life to understand what to do in those scenarios as well as what not to do in those scenarios. And being able to have been through them multiple times, you just sort of, like a callus, you just get used to it over time, and it's not gonna be ripping your skin. Or
Life isn't easy.
No, not at all. What was the question again?
What did you really use as a push every single day when things were hard?
Why did it keep going?
Yeah, like you're like, oh man, I missed out on this opportunity, or someone didn't want me as a client, or budgeting was way overestimated. I can't do this anymore. You ever have that thought? Or
Yeah, of course. I have had it a lot more previously, but I still do have it a lot. And just being able to take every experience and being able to deposit it into your memory bank to say, you know what, I've been through this. I know what to do now, or I at least know how to handle certain situations better. And once you go through it, it's going to be the toughest thing to go through. But after you go through it, it does not just running a business. It could be anything in life. Just knowing that at the end of the day, you just have to do what you have to do as a business owner. No one cares. No one cares if you do it, or no one cares if you don't do it.
Right.
You have an obligation to fill. You have a family to support. You have clients to perform services for, and at the end of the day, you got yourself into this, and just being able to say, I'm not going to be a failure. I invested all my money into this company. I literally took everything out, put it into here.
Yeah.
And the fear of being a failure has driven me, because I don't want to one day sit on a couch and say, you know what, I didn't do everything that I could have done, because then why would you go into business in the first place if you're not trying to reach your full potential, or just do anything in life? That's really my big mindset about what drives me is the fear of failure, the fear of regret, the fear of letting people down, and being able to have that bigger goal. Ever since I walked into my mentor's facility, know what is possible, know what you have overcome to get you to where you want to be. And the first couple of years are the hardest. The first 1 to 5, 3 to 5 years, they are the hardest.
Could be the whole time.
Yeah, every single day could be tough.
Yeah.
And after you, not saying after year 5 in one day it's going to be easy, but it's going to get easier over time. So the first couple years, the first couple months is really the hardest, and being able to just put your head down to the grindstone and do what others won't to get to where you want to be, to have what others don't.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
I think you do a great job of having a really good mindset and approach to things in life, because you are right. Life, it could be a callus. You break your head, get a little cut. It's a wound. It's temporary, but it grows back, and you need to build on that and make it better for next time.
Yeah.
And it gradually just builds over one another, and it still is going to be there. But at the end of the day, or starting a new day, you could always make it happen. It's kind of cliche right now, but I like to use the term YOLO.
What are we, 5? I was like back in
I
elementary
know,
school.
I know, but if you think about it, you only live one. It's not in terms of how we use it as a fifth grader, like
Yeah,
YOLO,
yeah.
you know, I'm gonna go off the slide or something like
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
it's like you only live once, so might as well make it count, right? And you'll have a whole life ahead of you, so make the things possible
Yeah.
while you can, you know. So
And you're only in your 20s for
that's
once.
that's another thing too, though. Getting out of college,
Well, you actually finished college. I dropped out
yeah.
with one semester to go.
Yeah, my parents were like, "Well, Marcus, what are you doing?" But you know, I said you had dreams and goals and you made it happen.
Yeah.
Now look at you today. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, you could always go back and always finish a semester of college.
Probably not. But anyway, that's another conversation in
Yeah,
itself.
yeah. So, you know, hopping off of everything, let's jump into a time and tell me your craziest job that you've had. Just because I've seen it all. I haven't seen it all as much as you have, but for the summer that I was working for you, it was pretty
What do you mean
nuts.
by crazy?
Like
Hardest, biggest,
I would say.
most satisfying at the end of it?
Yeah, I
What would
mean,
you say?
since you know you're doing hardscaping now, let's say your hardest job as far as your biggest job. You know, what was a job you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this is extremely overwhelming.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm not sure maybe what to do and things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah. So I think the biggest job that we completed to date is a massive retaining wall job up in Rockaway Township. That job took 2 months to complete and was about $250,000 in itself. And between everything, start to finish, not just the wall, there's other aspects of that. And that project in the beginning phases tested me more than I could imagine. One, through all the engineering aspects of everything, being able to understand all the engineering documents and being able to actually implement them. That was a huge thing. Change orders that came up, things just with the lands. I know there was a tree company there before us that created an entire landslide on the backside of the hill and was almost barricading the wall in, or the door of the back door of their house. And like, what do we do from there? We never experienced this before, and we can't just call the tree company and said fix it. I didn't know who the tree company was, the client behind them directly. But a project of that dollar size, the project of that magnitude, there's only so much you can predict for at the end of the day. But having a wonderful hardscape crew, that's really what it came. As well as an office staff, project manager, Rose and Colin, those them to go out there, check up on everything, and also our foreman, Elvin. He has been fantastic, and it was a big step for him as well. He never built a wall that big, but he's built walls before.
Right.
And being able to just put your head down and say, you know what, this is intimidating, but at the end of the day, it's just putting 3 normal walls together at the end of it.
And I'm sure you took your time
Yeah.
throughout it all. You know,
It's the biggest thing.
you've been there, and it's also probably a huge learning experience for you.
Yeah.
As big as the project was, now you know how to handle others. And I'm sure there's going to be one day where you're going to say the same thing. Oh, wow, you know, this project's too big.
Yeah.
And you're going to take your time through it. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's really who I was surrounded by to help through that. One, the crew that did it, they did fantastic. I mean, kudos to them. Everything was up to spec with the engineer and township and NCMA standards. So they just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then a staff to help guide them and give them the tools they need and the resources and the guidance that they need at the end of the day. That was huge. I mean, to be honest with you, I just sold the job. After that, I handed it off to everyone else. They executed it. I was obviously there,
Right.
showing face and checking up on it, but that's what you have a team for. And being able to work together as a team,
And to trust them.
to
too.
trust, that's a huge, especially the crew out there.
Yeah.
To say you have a 24-foot hill in front of you of just dirt, make it into a 2,000 square foot wall. See you in 2 months. You just got to trust them.
2 months was the job?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember.
We moved.
I saw the
think,
videos.
Several hundred yards of just dirt, and you were such in tight proximity to the house.
Yeah.
And it was tough access. You couldn't bring any materials in without getting the materials out. It
Tight
was just
space, too.
tight.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just very
There was
tight.
no Bobcat job.
No, you could use it, but a skid steer and excavator,
Mm-hmm.
but you couldn't stage materials. You could only bring a couple pallets in a day.
No kidding.
Because it was just so
You
tight.
couldn't use an excavator?
We could, but it was just very tight bringing materials.
Yeah.
In. Materials is the biggest thing that we had
Yeah.
planning issues with and staging issues with, as well as where to put all the dirt once it's excavated and prepped. We were loading it up near the driveway because I think it was like a quarter of an acre lot or a third of an acre lot.
Yeah.
No, this goes back to our whole ideal client. See, there's obviously people that fall outside of that with
Yeah, there's
the
so
ideal
many different
client.
properties.
Yeah.
Man. And they asked for a big job.
Yeah.
I saw the drone videos
Yeah.
of the wall going up. It looked great. The final product was awesome.
Just wait till Spencer puts a video together of start to finish.
That's gonna be
and we have a
awesome.
time lapse video of it as
You
well.
took a time lapse? That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, it is really something special. But yeah, that was pretty much the biggest thing. And now that we all accomplished it together as a team, knowing that the next job we go to, there's obviously always going to be things that come up. But it's like, oh, we've been here before.
Right.
We know this.
Exactly.
I am prepared.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, job to job, business to business, in life, in relationships. Being able to experience that type of stuff is it's going to gain you confidence, and that confidence is going to propel your growth
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So after all this talk, Marcus and I have had plenty of conversations of just
Personal and professional.
yeah, right. Yeah, personal and professional. We've had a great relationship, like you said,
Yeah.
since like middle school and things like that. But really like professional, you would talk about eventually getting to hardscaping, and then you would say tree servicing, but where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in the near future or in 10, 15 years with this business?
Yeah, of course. I know I said this when I first started the business, when I was actually with Spencer, because he asked me the exact same question. What's your goal? And humbly speaking, I should say, it's a big goal, but it's a goal. To be the number one landscape hardscape company in the area. What is the area? What is number one? What does that mean? I think the most respected company is something. The company with the best company culture, somewhere where the internal clients, your employees, are appreciated, and you make it more than just a job for them. Obviously, you're going to have good days and bad days, but being respected in the industry, being able to just have employees know that you're there from them and that you care. That's another big thing. So we're working on our company culture. We're growing it. And it's getting better and better every single month, every single year. And obviously, revenue is a driving factor as well. I don't really have a revenue goal in mind, but obviously you can never really compete with the massive commercial companies such as like Brightview. I know that's the biggest one. It's $1 billion company. Like that's not my goal. My goal is to be able to obviously have financial freedom in the business, so that you're not struggling every single payroll to payroll, saying, am I going to have enough in there? It's being able to charge enough and being able to have enough to invest back into the company to create a better culture, to give back to the community. It's
a soul cycle.
Yeah, there's no real dollar figure. I know that saying number one is very vague, and it's not a ego contest by any means. It's just being able to give back to the community, give back to your people, give back to your clients, and being able to provide a great experience.
Yeah, maybe do like a year-to-year analysis or something like that.
Yeah.
See what you can do and see how you can get better and things like that.
We have quarterly meetings. We have weekly meetings with our leadership team. It's just me, Colin, and Rose right now. But being able to, it's like when you're going on a road trip from Maine to California. If you just plug in the address and don't look up once, you could be in Montana. You always got to check every single month, every single quarter, every single mile to check that progress. It's really the biggest thing. So I may not have an exact answer right now, but it's in the works, I could say.
Yeah.
And another company that I do look up to and try to mimic is Newcastle. I think they just are, not I think, I know that they just got the number one company in all of America, number two in all of North America, or number one in USA, number one or number two in North America, Canada, and US, for being the best place to work.
Wow.
So being able to have a mentor from that company is
Right.
hopefully I'll be
Yeah.
number three.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
That's the goal.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, but I can't do it by myself. It comes back to who you're surrounded by, the people who support you, as well as the people who motivate you, as well as the people in your company and the people that your clients at the end of the day who want to go with your services. But I mean, I could ask you the same thing. Where do you really see yourself in next year, 5 years, 10 years? I mean, what is your goal?
Yeah. So I think I jumped into the whole marketing field just because I think I'm pretty creative and things like that, and it kind of gave me an open mind to do things that I like to do. But it's not a job forever. I think that it's got a lot of growth and potential. I would like to be in this field, maybe possibly on the side eventually, but I would really love to get into real estate. I really want to buy in the grand scheme of things in like 10. Not 10. I'd probably say more so around like 20 years or 25 years to own like a commercial property would be awesome. I think the idea of passive income is beautiful. I don't want to be behind a desk my whole life either. I want to be able to invest.
It's the cheat code to get out of the matrix.
Exactly. I see all these kids, not kids, but like people in their like 30s, 35, and they bought 3 homes at 22. And they already reinvested all their money into it, and they're basically paid off all their mortgages, and all those houses are just gradually bringing in passive income, and they're not working.
But what did you see on what they didn't maybe show that got them to where they are?
Right.
Same thing with running a business.
Exactly.
You obviously got to portray an image.
Yeah. But you have that goal that you
Yeah.
want to get to, and how back to what you were saying, you don't want to be sitting on a couch one day and saying, "Oh, I wish I could have done this, or I should have done this." There's always a process before you get started with those goals, and I think you need to take it accordingly. That's reading books, listening to podcasts, and
Being on podcasts.
being on podcasts, and hearing it from another business owner and how to run and be level-headed when you go into what you like to be in your goals. But to answer your question, I think being a marketer for a life insurance company is great. I got a great environment where I'm at, and the people are awesome. But, it's not forever for me. I think that it's a great start right out of college. But, seeing you and what you're doing and, like, seeing other people and kind of, like, going their own route and their goals and whatnot, one day I want to be able to say, hey, listen, I want to do what I want to do in my life. And I think that's in real estate.
Yeah. You're the only one holding yourself back.
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah. And a couple other things too. Possibly to start up my own business, own a franchise of some sort.
Golden Wolf.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'll relocate to like
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what else do you want to go over? Anything else come to mind after this? I know we're sharing a lot of information, but what else do you want to ask? Anything else that you want to say? Anything you want to let anyone who's listening know?
Yeah, I guess I'll give a shout out to John Macy and Jake Slutsky. I beat you to it. I actually just ran into Jake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's.
Just to let you guys know, those people were
the originals.
Yeah, the original in Celiano Landscaping.
Yeah.
So maybe next episode we could have all 4 of us on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Hopefully, this is one of many that I
Yeah.
jump onto. Just to see where you've come from and things like that, and to catch up with Marcus because this guy's busier than ever, and the only time I get to talk to him is on a podcast. So.
At 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Before the day starts.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But I just want to say, dude, thank you for
of
being the
course.
first guest on this podcast.
Yeah.
And
It's going to be the first of many.
yeah, exactly.
With you and with anyone else. I mean, that's where you got to start. I mean, you may start small, but it's where you're going to be. Look back. I could say the same thing with the business. Start the podcast where it's going to be in the next 6 months, 6 years. Who knows? Really, no. But I really do appreciate you doing this. It's a learning curve for both of us, and I think to be honest with you, I personally think so. We knocked it out of the park.
Oh, we killed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so. Hopefully everyone enjoys watching this or listening to this, I should say. And let us know your feedback. Let us know if you have any other questions for David or myself. How can people get in contact with you?
Yeah, you can reach me on my Instagram, or you can contact me on LinkedIn too.
What is your
So it's my first and last name, David Kurzrock on LinkedIn, and then you can contact me personally on Instagram, David Kurz, and it's 3 Z's at the end of it. Instagram took away my last name when I got banned, so.
And it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Yeah.
But yeah, feel free to reach out to David and I if you need anything, or just reach out to David for marketing, insurance advice, and real estate advice eventually soon.
Yeah.
Or if you also you want to give us advice or hop on the podcast, feel free to reach out. We're always growing. We're always wanting to expand.
Or do business
yeah.
even too,
Yeah.
It'd be great to hear other people's ideas and what they're doing, especially at our age too,
Yeah.
just to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Well, really do appreciate your time, David. Appreciate everyone's time listening to this, and enjoy, everyone. Take care.